CPA Dan Geltrude joins me now. Dan, we've seen it already with a lot of these other consumer staple companies that have reported their earnings. They've all said, we're raising our prices. They have no choice but to raise their prices. And, of course, consumers will have no choice but to pay them, won't they?
That's exactly true, Charles, because each of these corporations need to protect their bottom line, right? Because they have to protect their shareholders. So they are not going to absorb the price increases that are coming to them as far as the products that they need without passing it on to ultimately the consumers. So all signs point to, Charles, that inflation is here to stay for a while and will continue to rise.
Yeah, for runaway inflation, at least for over the next year. Let's talk about how this deal may be held up and your thoughts on the $3.5 trillion spending bill being rammed through as a condition of this infrastructure bill going through.
Well, that's absolutely crazy, Charles. I think that I could make an argument that the $1 trillion is an inflated number. Of course, we do need infrastructure. We have things that are crumbling, bridges and everything else all over the country. So certainly we need to do some spending. To have that be an excuse to go all the way up to an additional $3.5 trillion is insanity. Now, let me tell you why nobody's really getting too excited about it in Washington, D.C., because there's never been any consequences. Close to $20 trillion of more debt. And what's happened? Who's paid that price? No one. Therefore, the spending continues literally at this crazy level. I just don't see any end in sight to it.
Well, but you could also argue real quick, Dan, it's a ticking time bomb. Once it does implode, how do you stop it?
Well, you know what, Charles? People have asked me to say, well, when is the national debt going to be a problem? And here's the answer. When it is a problem, and nobody actually knows when this is going to blow up. I would have thought years ago that hitting 30 trillion, there's going to be a big problem. Now what's the number? 50 trillion?
Right.
100 trillion? I don't think anybody knows, Charles.
Yeah, but I think we're going to find out. Dan, thank you very much. And